Yes, good evening to everybody. Welcome to the today class of the family law. This is the maiden class, the first class, and today class that I am going to deal the regarding the dower, or we can say mahar. Now you can tell me that anyone can unmute and read what I posted on the screen, so that you are with me and I am with you. Hurry up! Hurry up! What I posted on the screen. Read. Anyone can unmute and read. Said anyone can unmute and read. Did you see that? Did you see that what I posted on the screen? Himabindu, Akhila.
Sir. Okay. Good evening to the legal fraternity, Meher Dower under Muslim law, compelled by Professor Dr. Muhammad Sahib Hussain.
Why you are taking this much time to read it? When I said unmute and read so that I could know that you are with me and I am with you. That's my point. Okay.
Okay, sir.
No matter. Okay, let us go to the class. Today class, the same thing that I put it over here. And Mahar under the Muslim law. And I believe that my voice is clear, isn't it?
Okay, sir. Clear, sir.
Don't say okay, say clear. Okay means acceptable. Okay, now stop the video so that it will be, the voice will be more. Okay, Dar, within parenthesis, Mahar, M-A-H-A-R, Mahar. Mahar is the Muslim law terminology and Dawar is the equivalent English. Let us see what is the origin of Dawar. Virgule, Mahar. I did not say slash here. I did not say oblique here. I did not say stroke here. I say virgule, V-I-R-G-U-L-E, virgule, Mahar. In old pre-Islamic Arabia, institution of marriage was not developed and many sexual relationship between the men and women had no name because the woman could be used as a toy, as a property, and it will be thrown away after using it. The same thing which I made it here. Men, after ruining their wives, used to throw them out, leaving no means to her for the continuation of her dignified life. That means they are taking the woman as a property by using her when she becomes a old, just they are leaving it in the market like goods, and no maintenance, no dignity of life would be there. So in ancient customs, the concept of the providing the any sum of the wife under she was turned out by the husband was treated as disregarded, and there was no proper law to provide the financial or moral help to those wives. The pre-Islamic time, before the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, there is no such a law would be there where the woman will be thrown out and not given the maintenance, even not giving a token of amount as a meher. The token of the amount is a meher. It will be given to the woman. It is the woman property. That is the wife property, and nobody could take it out. And if she wants, she can avail the property, whatever the manner she can. Yes. Now let us see that in that period there was a concept of shigar, Shigar, shigar. That means a shigar type of the marriages are there, in which a man gives his sister or daughter to later as consideration of the marriage. In turn, the later gives his sister or daughter to former marriage. Means it is like a barter. Okay, I will give my sister to you and you give your sister to me. Or I will give your daughter to you and you give your daughter to my son or any relative. Of course, one kith and kin. So this is a system would be there that is called shigar, where the question of giving and taking will not take place. Means marriage will not take place. Therefore, none of the wives get any dower because he is not going to give the dower, and the other party also not going to give the dower, because it is a barter system. I am giving my sister to your family and you are giving your sister to my family, or I am giving my daughter to your family and your family giving the daughter to my family. So there is no question of any exchange of the dower. False accusation of the unjustice were used to at time to disinherit the right of life of her dower. So, what is the accusation? They can make it out. It is a unchastity. Do you know what is meant by unchastity? Say yes or no. Sir, we know it, sir. At least yes, we know it, sir. Unmute and say. Sir, we don't say. Because if I ask in a that way, you know that I am with you and you are with me. Otherwise, you could not hear me, I could not hear you. Please say yes.
No, sir.
What no?
Sir,
Please.
immoral. Immoral, sir. Immoral. అంటే
Immoral life, loose life. That is called unchastity. Raju Gari, మొదటి భార్య పతివ్రత. So Prativata means chastised woman. Aparativata means she is a loose woman. So here unchastity with a loose woman, if the allegation would be there, with that they will be disinherit the property. That is called disinherit the right of wife of her dower. So she will not entitled for the dower. So that was the practice would be there. But later on, there was a form of a marriage called Bina marriage. One is Shigar marriage, where exchange of the daughter to daughter, exchange of the sister to sister from one family to another family without giving any dower. Then another type of the marriage is called the Bina marriage, in which husband used to visit his wife, but he did not bring her to her matrimonial home. Because he will does everything, honeymoon, there in the wife's house only. He will not bring the wife to his own house, in which the wife was called Sadiqa, means female friend. Sadiqa, Sadaqa, female friend. And the gift which was given to the wife was called Sadaq. Sadaq, Sadaq means a gift, a token of the farm will be given, that is called Sadaq, Sadaq. In Islam, Sadaq simply means dower. So now the Sadaq, not Sadaqa. Sadaqa meant charity. Are you following me? Say yes or no.
yes, yes, sir.
Sadaqa means charity. Sadaq means a form of a token of a gift. So in Islam, Sadaq, Sadaq. Here, my cursor is here. I highlighted it. Sadaq, did you get my point? Sadaq simply means dower, means mahar, and it is synonymous with, what is synonym? Anyone? Unmute and give me the answer. What is synonym? If you don't know, don't waste your time and say pass on.
Meaning. Meaning.
నానర్థాలు in Telugu. Say synonym, నానర్థాలు, similar words, similar meaning. So dower, the synonym with the mahar, because it came from sadaqa. In Islam, sadaq means is a dower. The distinction between the sadaq and mahar was, sadaq was a gift given to the wife, that is a bina form of marriage, and mahar was a gift or compensation given to the parents of wife. So here in the bina they have to give the parents of the wife. But here in the sadaq, it will be given to the only the lady. So mahar was a gift or compensation given to the parents of wife in the bal form of marriage. It is another type of the marriage. Bal form of marriage. So now, how many types of the marriage we have seen? Number is Shigara marriage. Number 2, Bina marriage. Number 3, Bal, BAAL, Bal form of marriage. A new form of marriage, nikah, which was mentioned in the Quran, dissolved the ancient custom and objected the unjust acts towards their fair sex. So the 3 type of the marriage, so the first one is Shigara marriage, Shigara, Shigara marriage. The second type of the marriage, a Bina marriage, and the third type of the marriage, a Bal marriage. So in this one, only the exchange of the girl to the another family is a Shigara marriage, and giving a gift like a Sadaqa, going to the wife's house and doing the honeymoon over there is called Sadaq marriage. Sadaq means it's a dower, it is there in the Bina marriage. When you come to the matter of the Bal marriages, it is given to the parents of the wife. What given? Mahar. To whom it is given? Parents of the wife. In which type of marriage? Yes. In which type of marriage? In which type of marriage? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on. Yes?
Bal marriage, bal.
It is the bal marriage, it is the gift given to the, or compensation given to the parents of the marriage, parents of the house in the bal marriage. In Shigara marriage,
Exchange. Exchange
they
of sister
exchange
or
a
daughter.
daughter to the another daughter, a sister to the another sister, but no question of giving any dower. If a question of giving dower comes over there, then the false accusation would be there. She is an unchastity woman or loose woman. Then what about the Bina marriage? Yes. See, I have shown on the screen also. In a Bina marriage, the husband goes to the wife house and does everything there, honeymoon, and give the token of amount that is called Sadakha. Sadakh, S-A-D-A-Q. And the female friend is called Sadikha, S-A-D-A-Q-A, Sadikha. So that type of the marriage would be there, but it is not a. So now the distinction between the Sadakha and Meher, of course, I made it here, was a Sadakh was a gift given to the wife in Bina form of marriage, and Meher was a gift or compensation given to the parents of the in the Bal form of the marriages. A new form of the marriage, Nikah, which was mentioned in the Quran. Quran does not recognize the Shigara. Quran does not recognize the Bina. Oh, you are speaking yourself. When you want to speak yourself, you can mute and speak. Otherwise, I could hear your personal talk. Not only me, everybody will hear. Okay, now after the Islam has made, with the Prophet Muhammad, the Quran says the type of the Shigara marriage, Bina marriage, Bal marriages are not approved over there. Then the Nikah, 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 Nikah. And there is a movie also, Nikah. Have you seen the movie? Say yes or no.
Sir.
Yes or no. Please say, otherwise I could not know whether you are hearing me or not, you are with me or not. That's why in the meanwhile that I will ask you that you are hearing me. Please say yes. Did you see the movie Nikah?
No, no, sir.
If you say in the chorus. If you don't say, you say you don't say at all. Okay, in the Nikah marriage, that is the type of the marriage, the Quran is allowed it. And now let us see what is the definition of the mahar or dower. Mahar is a Islamic term or the Urdu, the Muslim law terminology, and dower is the equivalent English terminology. It's a sum of money which becomes a payable by the husband to his wife on marriage, either by agreement between the parties or by the operation of law. Sir, only money should be given, sir. Yes, the worth of the money also can be given. Are you following me? Are you following me? Say yes or no. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Please say. Meanwhile, you have to say it. Yes, not only the money. If I give the gold, is it not amount of the dower? Any worth, money worth, or money, or gold, or silver, or land. But generally they say they no, better you give the hard cash. Sir, I will give the check. Now the check system is. Suppose the check is bounced. Then what will happen? Okay, you can give the demand draft. Okay, the worth of the money would be given to the wife only, either by the agreement between the parties or by operation of law. Suppose nothing is written over there in the mahar. How the mahar will be fixed? Anyone? There is no agreement that marriage this much should be given. But here say mahar is the agreement between the parties or by the operation of law. Now you tell me how we will fix the mahar. Anyone? Unmute and give me the answer. Any answer, doesn't matter. I will give the answer to you. Quick. Quick. At least say pass on. At least you say pass on.
Pass, sir. Pass.
Why you are taking this much time to say pass on? Yes, we can calculate the husband salary, the husband state of thing, and the wife in which state she was there, what her maintenance, and what her brother or sisters have given over there the amount. So by calculating it, they will fix it. Who will fix it? The court will fix it. If the matter goes to the court, that is called operation of law. So meher can either be prompt, that is called muajjal, means net cash payment. Muajjal, MU, of course here question mark is there is a space, ajjal, AJJAL, muajjal, that is the prompt hour. And the deferred means muwajjal, WA is there. So WN is added, muwajjal, that is. Pronounce, anyone can pronounce it, unmute and pronounce. Anyone can unmute and pronounce, which I highlighted here. Yes. Anyone can unmute and pronounce.
Meher can either be prompt muajjal or deferred muvajjal.
Then why you are, please, anyone, when I say anyone, quickly one can say, because other people will get fear to even speak and mute and unmute, because I don't know whether they know the mute and unmute or not. And they may also having the fear that whether they can commit a mistake when you are reading. No, I want to see that everybody should like Professor Hussain. That's my motto. So according to Wilson, the author said dower is a consideration for the surrendered of person by the wife. He says it's a token of the amount. In other words, it's a surrender for the surrender of the person by the wife. Means surrendering itself to the husband, they say the consideration paid. That is the definition given by the Wilson. According to Amir Ali, dower is a consideration which belongs absolutely to the wife. So according to Amir Ali, he said, dowry is a consideration, a token of the amount which belongs absolutely to the wife, because no one is having any right to use that property. It's the property absolutely to the wife. And that is the definition given by the Amir Ali. And another definition, according to Mullah, the dower is a sum of money or other property which the wife is entitled to receive from the husbands in consideration of the marriage. Everybody is saying the same thing. It is a surrender or the property which is given to the wife, and wife is entitled to get it from the husband in consideration for the marriage. So the word consideration which is used under this definition is not used with the same meaning as used in the Indian Contract Act. So the meaning which is used in the consideration is not the same meaning. Here they say a token of respect will be given to the woman. So generally we'll say consideration. Actually it is a token of respect given to the woman, being the wife. So payment of meher, that is a dower, is an obligation, it's a must, it's a mandatory on the part of the husband as a mark of the respect to his wife. It is a mark of the Talpera Babu, Talpay. See, they are the sound they are talking over there. That's why I asked them to. Huh? अरे दरवाजा लगाओ. Please shut the door. So, see, I told them not to open the door, but they are opening and they are discussing over there. But anyway, that according to the Amir Ali, dowry is the consideration which belongs absolutely to the wife. So according to the Mullah, I already told you that if the consideration, if the token of it will be given, it is not the similar to the consideration of the Law of Contract Act. Can anybody will read what I highlighted here? Unmute and read.
There was an argument that marriage is a civil contract and dower is the consideration for the contract of marriage.
Yes, there was an argument that the marriage is a civil contract and the dowry is a consideration for the contract of marriage. But generally, they say consideration is the token of the amount given to the wife by the husband. Yes, please take the screenshot when the number of the participants are more, so that it will be recorded to us. Even a one student also there, I am going to delete, because I feel that if one person also get benefited out of my lecture, I feel 100% got the benefit of it. My mission is fulfilled. Let us see that. Therefore, in the case of the Abdul Qadir versus Salima, this is one of the case law. Justice Mahmood here stated under the Muslim law, dowry is a sum of money or other property promised by the husband to be paid to the wife in the consideration of the marriage, and if the amount of the money or other property is not fixed in the marriage ceremony, then also the wife has a right to demand dower. Then he said, according to Justice Mahmood, it is a purely a contract because the amount of the money given by the husband to the wife. And if it is not fixed in the marriage ceremony, then also wife has a right to demand dower. But I told you that what are the criteria should be followed over there to fix the mahar. Of course, we do have the points in the coming classes or in further when you go. But the above opinion was considered inaccurate because even if the payment of the dower is not specified during or before the marriage ceremony, that does not make the marriage void. Suppose the amount of the money is not fixed over there. Suppose if it is one of the conditions that the dower should be fixed over there, if that condition is not fulfilled over there, if the marriage is held, do you think that the marriage is a void marriage? Answer is no. Because I told you that there's a prompt dower and a deferred dower, muajjal and muvajjal. So there's the two type. We can pay in the promptly on the day of the nikah, or we can pay it later. Sir, you also got married? No, sir. Did you pay the mahar on the spot? The answer is no. I paid the deferred dower. After marriage, when I earned the money, at the time I paid the money to my wife. Sir, how much the money, sir? Okay, it's not a secret. It's 30,000 at the time. That is a big amount at the time. So, after many arguments, Abdul Rahim correctly observed that dowry is an obligation made on the part of the husband as a mark of respect towards his wife. It is not a consideration. The part of the husband as a mark of respect towards his wife and is not a consideration for the marriage and does not affect the validity of marriage. So, consideration is not the appropriate word in the law of contract, what we use there, but here is the token of the respect given to the woman when you are going to marry her. So it does not affect the validity of marriage. Suppose if the consideration is not paid, okay, it can be paid later. That it means due. That is called deferred dower. Okay, nature of the dower, let us see. Yes, can anyone can unmute and read the nature of the dower, which I highlighted over here? Yes. Quick. Anyone can unmute and read.
The concept of meher was introduced by the Prophet Muhammad, and he made it obligatory to husband to pay dower to his wife in every marriage. Dower is similar to the donatio propter ruptias in Roman law, but in Roman law it was voluntary, and in Muslim law it is obligatory in nature.
Yes, the concept of meher was introduced by Prophet Muhammad, and he made it is a must, obligatory to the husband to pay the dower to his wife in every marriage. I say, what is every marriage? Of course, at the time it will be allowed for you can marry at a time. So that is the point. They say every marriage. So dower is a similar. What is a similar to the donatio propter nuptias? That is in Roman law. Donatio propter nuptias, which is in Roman law, but it was a voluntary in the Roman law. But in the Muslim law, it is a. In the Muslim law, it is a.
Obligatory in nature.
Obligatory in nature, must. One should have to must. There is no other go. One should have to pay it. There is no other go. That is the point. Okay. The nature of the dower can be defined as follows. A contract of dower and a contract of sale is frequently compared, and wife is considered as the property and meher her price. So that is the nature. No, actually it is not a contract of dower and a contract of sale. It is frequently compared the wife. It is a token of respect given to the wife when a husband is accepting her as a wife. So in the case of the Abdul Qadir versus Salima, in the case law, Justice Mahmood compared the marriage with the contract for sales and dower as the consideration for such a contract and said, dower may be regarded as a consideration for the connubial intercourse by way of the analogy to the contract for sale. No, it is not a contract for sale. If the money is given to the female, means to the bride, it doesn't mean that she is selling her body to the husband. The right to resist husband so long as the dower remains unpaid is analogy to the lien of the vendor upon the sold goods while they remain in his possession, and so long as the price or any part of it is unpaid, her surrender to husband resembles the delivery of the goods to the vendee. But one thing is very much right. Suppose if the dower would be paid in prompt, if the bridegroom did not pay it at that time, a bride cannot agree for the nikah. She cannot, because it is a prompt dower, and she can have a right to stay in the mother's home till the amount will be paid. So that right will be given to her in case if it is a prompt. Are you following me? So yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now let us see, according to the same well-known authorities, dowry is regarded as a consideration for the conjugal intercourse. Say they say, sir, this is the money which is given for the having the relation, conjugal intercourse would be there, sir. Otherwise, they will say it is a illegal thing, sir. No, it is a bond, a token amount will be given either to celebrate. Of course, the amount which is given to the wife or the bride of her own property, she can evaluate it, she can donate it, she can do whatever she likes. Dowry is regarded as a consideration for conjugal intercourse. They gave the definition in that way. In the case of the Srimati SMT Nasra Begum versus Rizwan Ali, Allahabad High Court held that the right to claim the pram dower proceeds cohabitation. Suppose if the pram dower is there, then only it leads to the cohabitation. Suppose the pram dower is not there, no cohabitation, no intercourse, no BBC, no body to body contact, no honeymoon. That is the point. So C point is nature of the concept of nature. Dowry is an essential incident and a fundamental feature of the marriage. And even though payment of the dowry is not fixed during the or before the marriage, wife is still entitled to some dower from her husband. Sir, if the husband is a beggar, then how could he will give the money to the would-be wife, sir? Anyone? If you don't know, you say pass on. I will give the answer. Don't waste the time.
Nobody marries a beggar, sir.
Suppose, do you think that beggars will not marry the beggars? Give the answer. They may, but even a wife can waive it. You need not to give me the dower. Okay, you teach me how to read Quran. Or you can do something in favor of me that is in lieu of the dower amount. Even that also can be agreed. That means not necessarily the money should be given. That's my point. Not necessarily the money should be given in the form of a dower to the wife. That's what I want to convey to you. In the case Hamira Bibi versus Zubaida Bibi, Judicial Committee held that dowry is an essential incident under the Muslim law. The status of the marriage to such an extent, this is so that when it is unspecified at the time of the marriage is contracted, the law declares that it must be adjusted on the definite principles. So they say, in any case, no one can avoid giving the amount of dower in his lifetime. Sir, in the lifetime, the person did not pay the dower or meher to the wife. Then how a wife can claim it? Anyone? That fellow is kicked the bucket, means he died. Who? Husband. Then anyone? Sir, you are asking the so many questions, sir, in the class, sir, that give the sense to me you are with me and I am with you. And both are traveling the same boat to reach the destination. Sai journalist, can you unmute and give me? Sir, what is that answer, sir? Suppose the husband died without paying the dower to the wife. How the wife will, means widow will claim the dower? That's my question. If you know it, you can give me the answer. If you don't know it, you say pass on. But you have to say. Anyone can unmute and give me the answer. Sir, we don't give the answer, sir. Either you want to teach, you teach, or if you don't want to teach, you don't teach.
Sir, once again, question, sir.
Pardon?
Sir, once again, repeat the question, sir.
Once
Not
again,
understand.
repeat అనవసరం లేదు. Say once again or repeat it. Yes. Without paying the dower, the husband died because that is a deferred dower. Then how the widow will claim the dower? That's my question. I told you already, in any case, nobody could avoid to give the money. Suppose the deceased is no more, from her property, from his property, it can be retained. In case if he has not given and he is having the house, the widow can retain the house till she realizes the dower amount from the husband side people. I say retained. I did not say sell and mortgage. The widow can retain the house till she realizes the dower amount from the deceased family, means husband family side. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Clear. Clear. Clear.
Suppose if he doesn't have the house, then if any bank balance is there, he will write to the manager that my husband who died did not pay the dower amount. Please, you freeze the amount until it will be reimbursed to me. Whatever the property would be there, whatever the bank balance would be there, whatever even the PF is there, gratuity is there, if it is a government employee. Are you following me? Say yes. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
You have to give sometimes the answer, otherwise I will be in the impression that you are not hearing me. So that's the question will come over there if you don't speak. Okay, as a dower regarded as a consideration of the marriage, therefore, in theory, it becomes a payable before the consummation of the marriage, not because a deferred dower means after the consummation of the marriage, and the prompt dower means before the consummation of marriage. But the law divides into two parts. Number one, prompt dower means cash payment, cash down. Prompt dower, which becomes a payable before the wife starts living in her matrimonial house. Before the consummation, it would be paid over there. That is the prompt dower. No prompt dower, no consummation, no conjugal rights, no honeymoon, no BBC. BBC means body to body contact. Yes, that is the called short form BBC acronym. Instead of saying sexual intercourse, consummation, we can say the BBC means body to body contact. That is the acronym. Okay, deferred dower means payment will be made later part in the lifetime, which becomes a payable when demanded by the wife dissolution of the marriage. Dissolution of marriage means in any ground that dissolution of marriage comes, or if the husband died over there, at the time she will claim the amount when it is a deferred dower, either by the death of any of the parties or on the divorce. But after the death of the husband, see the question which I made it here, which I asked earlier. But after the death of the husband, dowry is considered as a debt, and the widow is entitled for the debt along with the other creditors of her deceased husband, which is to be satisfied on his death from his estate. Estate means, what it means by estate? Anyone?
Property.
Property. I told you already before. Suppose if he's having the house, if he's having the land, if he's having the agriculture, if he's a government servant, if he's having the PF, if he's having the gratuity, that can be claimed over there because it's like a debt, like other creditors, she will be also entitled to get the debt money from the deceased estate or the property or the bank balance. If the property of the deceased husband is under the possession of the widow, suppose the house is under the possession of the widow, that means the wife, of course, the death of the husband, she becomes a widow. She is entitled to retain the possession of until the amount of the dowry is satisfied from that property, and the heirs can recover the property after the amount of dowry is satisfied by the widow. So the legal heirs, they were to get the property only after the fulfillment of the dowry amount due paid to her. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Good. I appreciate. I know that only one Himabundu knows how to mute and how to unmute. Other people are very much silent. I could see in the beginning, I saw there are 10 members are there. Now I saw only 5 members are there. Even one member is enough for me to run the class. Okay. Importance of the dower. According to the Fatwa Khazi Khan, the mahr is so necessary to marriage that if it were not mentioned at the time of the marriage or in the contract, the law will presume it by virtue of the contract itself. So, if it is mentioned, if it is not mentioned, it will be calculated later by the operation of the law, and it will be decided how much the amount will be the paid as a mahr, depending upon the caliber of the husband, depending upon the capacity and the status, earning capacity, and the lifestyle living. So on that based on that one, it will be made assessed, and the amount will be fixed. So that is the whole idea behind the thing. Okay. Now let us go to the other. Dowry is so essential under the Muslim law of marriage that even if there is an agreement made with the wife before marriage that she will revoke her right of dower and will not claim for dower in future, she agrees to marry without any dower, that agreement will be invalid according to law. Did you get my point? What it means? Suppose before the marriage, if the wife give in writing that I am not going to claim any dower amount from you in future, and there is a written statement, whether it is a valid,
Not valid, sir.
the agreement will be invalid according to law. In the presence of the two witnesses, if you say that I waived my dower and everybody heard it, then it can be waived, because it should be voluntarily, not at the gunpoint. Are you following me? Not a knife on her neck. Voluntarily, if she wants to waive it, she can do so. So this is done to protect the wife from the power of the husband to give divorce and to prevent its misuse under the Muslim law. Husband can give the divorce to his wife as his will, and so the object of the divorce is to prevent the misuse of such power and also prevent the polygamy. See why they are keeping this dower in the sense, a man should have to give the dower in a such a way, means big amount. He would be fear to get that amount, so he will not give the divorce. Number one, and he will lead the compromised life. Otherwise, that marriage becomes void and marriages are collapsed, and there is no understanding between the wife and husband. So a token of the amount which is fixed over there, suppose if you leave her, how to pay that much amount, which is impossible to get it. So the people say a bigger sum amount should be put it over in the form of mehan, so that that fellow will not treat the wife as a property and throw away after using it, and without giving the dower money to the wife. So they say it is one way in another way to prevent it, and the one way in another way to go for the polygamy. What is polygamy? Anyone?
Having more than one wife, many wives, polygamy.
More than one wife is called polygamy. And more than one husband? Yes? Polyandry.
Polyandry.
Yeah. So right to make a legislation in respect of a reasonable dower. What is the right? To make a legislation in respect of a reasonable dower. So according to the Muslim law, the wife can claim for the dower on the dissolution of a marriage, and the amount can be very high and very low also, depending upon the status of a person. Means the deceased or divorced or a widower. In many cases, it was found that the husband was having sufficient income, but the amount of dower was very less, that it is impossible for the wife to maintain herself from such amount. Therefore, legislature was given full power to make the laws, and the courts will not be bound to award the amount of dower which was mentioned in the marriage deed. So whatever the amount is, suppose if the court will feel it is a lesser amount would be given over there, then naturally what will happen? the court will sanction a bigger amount would be there, because you have seen that in CRPC 125 section, any person can go approach the court. Any person approach the court, irrespective of the caste and creed, for the maintenance, even after the iddat period also. So what is that decided case law? A famous decided case law which is there. Yes, what is the first case law where we can give the maintenance not only up to the iddat period, beyond the iddat period also it could be given. Yes, what is the name of the case law? Anyone? There's a famous case law that we heard is the first case law, Shabano case law. Repeat.
Shabanu case law.
So it is not only up to the iddat period, beyond the iddat period also should be given according to the CRPC 125, which will be applicable to the irrespective of the caste and creed. Yes, Section 5 of the Awadh Law Act 1876 provided that the court will award the amount of the dower which is reasonable according to the income of the husband and the iddat of the wife, not according to the amount mentioned in the marriage deed. So now the question comes over there. Mahar, in any case, one cannot avoid it. He is supposed to give it unless until the wife waives it in the presence of the witnesses and the free will. Then only it can be waived. Otherwise, no question of waiving the dower. It is a must, obligatory to give by the husband or by the husband side people to the bride or wife, would be wife. Object of dower. Now let us see what is the object of dower. The object of dower are to enforce an obligation on a husband as a mark of respect towards his wife. 2. To place a check on the misuse of power to give divorce by the husband. 3.
So the matter is not scrolling, sir.
Now, see here it is scrolling, but I don't know. For you, I don't know whether it's scrolling or not. Could you able to see now? Can I magnify it?
No, sir.
I magnified it. See, here I am highlighting it. Could you see now what is highlighted?
No, sir, I can't see.
Means perhaps the signals are weak at your place, number one, or because I close my somebody is speaking in your house or somebody's house. Yeah, signals are weak at your place, but my place the signals are very strong because I am using the Wi-Fi. And I am not using even the video, because the video I could use it. Some of the signals will be bifurcated over there. So anyway, that you see that the object of the dower are, number one, that is the one first bullet, is to enforce an obligation on husband as a mark of respect towards the wife. That is an object, number one. Number two, to place a check on the misuse of power to give the divorce by the husband, because it's a threat. If you give the divorce, he has to give the right of amount to the wife. Number three, to provide for her livelihood and the dissolution of marriage, so that she can lead her dignified life after the death of her husband or divorce. The amount which is given over is such a big amount, even after the death of the husband or divorce, she could lead a dignified life rather than selling her body to live like a prostitute. So that is the object of behind it. Increase or decrease of dower. Yes, it can be increased or it can be decreased also. Husband can increase the amount of the dower at any time, and also the wife can remit the dower wholly or partially, but it should be done by her free consent. Even the wife can waive it with the free consent, or husband can increase or decrease it, provided the wife should agree. Are you following me? Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Only one meeting and meeting. I don't know why Nikita and why Sai Rishita and Sai journalist. Are you present, sir? Sai journalist, are you present, sir? If you present, please unmute and read what I put it over there. Increase or decrease of power, dower. See, I have made it. I highlighted it. If you are very much present, you unmute it and you read what I highlighted, which I shared on the screen. Or could you able to see my screen? I don't know.
No, sir, unable to see on the screen what you have scrolled.
Yes. Repeat.
Unable to see, sir, what you have highlighted it on the screen.
Oh. Okay, doesn't matter, huh? Because anyway that I am, my voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Audible, sir.
Yes, very good. Anyway, that I am reading and I am explaining it. A husband can increase the dower, a husband can decrease the dower, provided the wife should agree to that free consent. Or a Muslim girl who has attained the puberty can relinquish her dower. It is not mandatory that she has attained the majority, which is 18 years according to the Indian Majority Act. Suppose the woman has reached the puberty. Menstrual cycle starts over there. At the time she can relinquish, means waive her meher. Or it need not that she should attain the 18 years of age, according to the Indian Marriage Act. The remission of the meher by wife is called hiba-e-meher, means waiving of the meher. By whom? By whom the waiving of the meher would come out? Yes?
Wife.
Wife. That is called hiba-e-meher, means waiving the remission of the meher by wife is called hiba-e-meher. So, in this way, in any case, after the death of the husband, wife suffers mental distress, then remission of the dower at that condition will be considered against her free consent and will not be binding on her. Because if the remission would come only before the death of the husband, but after the death of the husband, in any case, the woman cannot remission it or waive it. You know why? Because her livelihood would be in danger and she will be thrown in the street. That's why even if he waives also, it will not be considered. If he waives also, it will be considered that force would be used over there. That is the meaning we can take it, because she suffered with the mental agony, distress, then the remission of the dower, that condition will be considered against her free consent and will not be binding on her. So now let us see that Karachi's case law, then will stop it. It was held that in certain circumstances, remission of dower will not be binding on her. For instance, husband shows indifference towards his wife and he makes it obvious that the only way to resolve that indifference is when she remitted the dower and makes a document for the same, then it will be against her free consent and also against the justice and equity. A woman should have to remiss or waive at her meher only with her free will. But on gun point of view, or by making any indifferences, or by harassing her, they cannot force her to remit it. If it is done so, it is against her free consent, also against injustice and equity. So that is the thing which I want to share with you. Of course, at any time it will be closed. So classification of dower we will see from tomorrow, in tomorrow class. Of course, exactly, because today is the first day. No, even I myself also thinking still the time is there. I was preparing. So time is up now. And in the tomorrow class that we will see the classification of dower. So according to the syllabus, I believe that everybody is having the syllabus, isn't it? Isn't it?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, see, here syllabus we made here the point where it is dower. Here it is there, maternity and marriage, principal, maintenance, and all other things, essential requirement, valid marriage, and dower is here. Of course, they say, yes, of course, there are gift also there. But tomorrow again we will deal the kinds of dower and how a dower could be made, and who can maintain or who can deal the dower to get it back. That we'll see in the tomorrow class. And today class at any time it will be stopped. Until that, I would like to say the goodbye and have a good day. Please, now can you able to see when the screen now or not?